Bruce Willis, street-savvy, rough-edged, everyman hero with a heart of gold and a one-liner for every occasion.
Sid's dead, baby. Sid's dead.
Is nothing like the man moviegoers went to see back in 1988. Willis was a TV comedic actor of waning popularity with just 2 other film credits to his name, neither of which was particularly well received. In fact, his presence as a leading man panicked Fox Studios' marketing department so much that they literally gave Nakatomi Plaza first billing on the film's poster. But this fish-out-of-water subtext may have been pretty method, as Hyman Roth might say. After all, John McClane is the gritty New York cop in glamorous LA. His no-frills ethos is sailed by modern technology and unfamiliar culture.
You got any Christmas music?
Showing up in a rumpled jacket and flannel at a suit-and-tie affair.
Champagne, sir?
Accepting the free champagne because it's easier than refusing it, only to pass it back moments later. In fact, this may be an example of life imitating art imitating life. Quoting director John McTiernan, "We didn't rehearse. I'd usually try to start shooting somewhere near the beginning of the story and let the actors figure out what they're doing from there. We discovered what the essence of McClane's character was after we were about halfway through. It was that he didn't like himself very much, and he was doing the best he could." And I really get that from Willis's depiction, especially in the early going. When Argyle handily deconstructs his macho emotional disconnection from his failing marriage, McClane takes it in stride with a winsome grin.
Like I said, you're very fast, Argyle.
When nailed with a sloppy kiss from a male partygoer, McClane doesn't act out, he just shrugs it off. In an era where masculinity is reflexively prefixed with fragile, not punching a dude for kissing you doesn't seem groundbreaking. But let me introduce you to the 1980s, where action heroes were hyper-masculine slabs of muscle without weakness, single-mindedly blasting through anything that gets in their way. And should we even mention the video games? As Susan Jeffords wrote in Hard Bodies, Hollywood Masculinity in the Reagan Era, these films work out the Reagan domestic policy through home front battles with internal enemies of Reaganism: terrorism, lawlessness, disloyalty, and the deterioration of the family. Curiously, Jeffords puts McClane into this collection of Reaganite vigilantes, but I respectfully disagree. Yes, there are terrorists, but as we'll talk about later, they're kinda not. As the film rolls on, McClane has as much issue with the law as he does with the lawless, and he literally admits that he's the cause of, not solution to, his family's crisis.
I told her it took me a while to figure out what a jerk I've been.
In fact, while the stock 80s action hero is easy to spoof,
Nice to see you.
McClane is unique in that he's a subversion, not a parody. Sure, he's got the action hero quips,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
but they're warm, wry, and unrehearsed. Yes, he pulls off some ridiculous stunts, but feels afraid and unsure every step of the way. He freaks out when Hans kills Takagi, and McClane feels pain when he himself gets punched. He accrues damage. He's emotionally vulnerable. He even cries, maybe. Kinda-ish. As Tom Bryhan writes for AV Club, quote, "The everyman appeal of Willis is key to the success of Die Hard. Post-human 80s action movies would live on for a few more years, but tended to pare things down, focusing on everyman heroes suddenly thrown into extreme circumstances." People talk about Die Hard inventing its own genre, which we will discuss, but for me the lasting impact was what its hero did to a genre that already existed, to the point that 4 years later, its greatest ever star and one of its best directors would transform its most relentless villain into a lovable, outclassed, McClane-esque hero. I'm Cosmo Catalano. Until next time, hasta la vista. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.